Okay, guys, halfway point reached. We're now into Milestone 4. So Leo tells me that we're now entering the phase of polishing out the army. Really starting, now that we've kind of set a direction of travel for the kind of strategies and tactics that I'm going to put in place for this army, this Milestone 4 is really going to start kind of polishing that out, giving really unlocking those abilities that I need to be able to use this kind of hammer and anvil kind of strategy that we've been working towards in this. So, Leo, once again, thank you for your help and support on this. For anybody following at home, remember, you can do whatever list you want during a slow grow, but you're more than welcome to follow along with the one that I'm doing if you like how this play style is progressing. But at any time, you can start to deviate from what I'm doing as you get more and more confident in how all of this is coming together. Right. Leo, let's see. What are we adding now?
So, yeah, what you said is exactly right. Is we've set a direction, we've decided on the theme, on the lore, on exactly how we want our army to look, this professional, well-trained and equipped force. And right now, we're getting at the point that we have to start thinking a little bit about objectives. We're trying to think a little bit about, more advanced tactics.
Yeah.
Overall, right, we want to make sure we start, quote unquote, a little bit optimizing and polishing our list while staying true to the theme we've selected, right?
Yeah.
So right now we're gonna go for another regiment of militia. That's gonna be our third regiment of militia.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you may feel free, to go either as militia or militia bowman.
Yeah.
Militia is a great regiment for the Hundred Kingdoms because they are so versatile, right? They can be buffed a lot by a noble lord. They can become devout and gain all the benefits from a feast priest, right? So there is so many ways you can play with militia, and they can fulfill so many different roles that it's a really unique and very versatile regiment for the Hundred Kingdoms. You're going to get a lot of utility out of them, either
Yeah.
as pikemen or as bowmen. So it's a great regiment. Now we're going to go for a second box of Household Guard, right, to make a strong sixth
Nice.
stand regiment.
Yeah.
It's Household Guard is one of the staples, right, of the Hundred Kingdoms regiment, right there with men at arms. Each comes from a different background. Each has their own roles to fulfill. The
Mm-hmm.
Household Guard is more on the middle point between offense and defense, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Gilded Legion, for example, would be the more defensive one, and the Steel Legion would be the most offensive one from
Mm-hmm.
the Legion regiments. So Household Guard is very, very good at their job, especially if they are joined by a noble lord. And later on, we're going to see, the different choices that we have between a standard of steel,
Yeah.
that enemy attacks never count as inspired, or with regalia of the empire, right? You're going to get a lot of different choices that are very viable.
Nice.
Last, we're going to go for a second regiment of Steel Legion, right? Keeping on the
Yes.
theme, bringing one more regiment of armor-clad soldiers. These 200 swords are absolutely incredible in the game. Very useful, very dangerous, right? And it's really going to give you that edge at the end of the battle, right? Where the enemy heaviest regiments are in the game, and you need something really strong to take them out.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, then let's move into my army lists in the army builder. Okay. So this
Perfect.
is where I had left off
Yep.
for Milestone 3. So I'm going to update this now to be Milestone 4. And what are the points level at this?
We're going to about 1,500 at this point.
Okay, so let's update both of those. Right.
Okay,
Leo, if you
so
take me through the changes, let's see what we're doing.
so right now we're gonna take away some of the options that we've given before. For example, we need to make some room for some other things.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's go to the household knights.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna remove at this point the tourney champion. So we're gonna
Okay.
save some points there.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep the standard bearer though.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go to the noble lord's warband, and we're gonna add another regiment of militia.
Okay.
So that's another.
There we go.
There we go.
Yep.
Now, here we get a choice, and this is really up to you how you want to play your list, and people at home can try whatever configuration. You can either go for a 6-stand strong regiment of militia,
Mm-hmm.
right, and keep the other one, as reinforcements, as just a lighter screen. If you see that your opponent is trying to move at a different flank, just to buy you a little bit more time until your forces get there.
Yeah.
Or you can move a stand from the 6-stand strong regiment of militia to the 3-stand strong one, and try to
balance
even
it
them
out.
out a little bit in power.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. Yeah. So
yeah, and I think for this list, I think it would work well to do that.
So I take that down. So that now goes down to 150 points.
That's right.
And then I can add that stand here.
Perfect.
And that takes that to 120 points. Yeah, so that gives me a bit of symmetry then to it starts to become more symmetrical anyway in terms of
that's right.
Opening
it's
up
very important to remember that also your characters can move between regiments. If they're not engaged, you can try to seek new escort. So if one of your militia regiment falls, because at the end of the day, they're light regiments, they might fight against a stronger opponent. You can always make sure that you retreat your character to another regiment, before they get caught in combat or get caught off guard and you lose that character.
Yeah.
Then the next addition to the army is going to be with the household guard. So we're going to go to the household guard regiment, and we're going to add 3 stands to it. So you can go to the gear right next to the household guard, and you can take them up to 6.
There we go.
Once again, we're keeping the standard bearer. It's a really good, very useful upgrade. It allows you to reroll charges. It's great overall. I highly recommend it, especially for regiments that you really want to make sure you get the charge.
Yeah.
And then I will go to the Imperial Officers Warband. And I would add another regiment of Steel Legion.
Another Steel Legion.
Perfect. Now here, what we're going to be doing is at this point, we're going to be removing the, the training trigonometry trait at this point. Right?
And, yeah.
Right, to save a little bit of points. It's going to be about 1,500. So this is why you don't see it there, but it will bring us down a little bit.
Yeah.
It will bring us down a little bit as well. So now at this point, you can choose to, if you want to make sure, that the list is right 1,500 on the nose, you may opt to deselect the drill master for the time being on one of the 2 Steel Legion regiments. However, you will keep it, you will keep it for the final list either way. So the model you're still going to use it, so no worries.
Yeah. So if I wanted to, I could just take that down.
Yeah. So exactly. So it would be the 10 points for the tactical tier 1, and then it would be exactly at 1,500. And so moving on, we will add some more points, but it's down to your discretion, your opponent. These lists are indicative. It's just a good point. We're making sure that the final list is on the point. Everything.
So is worth pointing out, guys, that in the slow grow, we're loose. There's a lot of flexibility there in terms of the pointage at each of these milestones, because ultimately where it really matters is when we get to the end. At the end, we want an army that is bang on the nose of the points. Between here and then, give each other some flexibility. Because we're working with whole boxes of units and things like that, so there needs to be a little degree of flexibility as we reach the milestones.
But and the good thing is, we have a few extra upgrades there. So if you want to make sure that you're right on the nose, you can always take away a standard bearer, put something back. But at this point, if you want to remove something, don't worry. You will still use the miniatures you've painted, because what we care, what we're building towards is, a balanced final list. So you shouldn't worry right now about more than that. So at this point, now the list, we've fleshed out our regiments. The household guard is really going to be a very important regiment in the army, because it brings that punch in during the mid game, and it really denies your opponent the kill. Not counting as inspired with a high defense and a high resolve is very important. Having multiple screens during the light in the early phases of the game, very important. Being able to support these militia with the crossbowmen really gives you an edge and really helps you keep pushing your reinforcement line, and also grab the objectives, as soon as possible. So we're working towards a really nice balanced list that really plays the game in all of its aspects, and that's very important for the 100 Kingdoms.
Fantastic. Right, guys, that is Milestone 4. I know what I'm at. So I'd be really interested actually to see, how you're progressing through, and what changes and tweaks you're making at this stage. Leo, thank you, mate. I will hook up with you again when it comes to Milestone 5. But in the meantime, I have some models to build. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.